the last point that I talked about of building that partnership with your product organization is having a clearly defined issue escalation process. And this is something where you're going to need to make sure that you are in lockstep with your product organization so that you can make sure that everyone finds the right or the same issues have the same level of importance to both parties so that you're not thinking something is critical when they think something is not quite critical. So what does this look like? It's having clearly defined rules agreed upon from support, success, and product. And again, this is that idea of if something is high profile for your team, then you need to make sure product finds it just as high profile. You need to be able to escalate things directly from support so that it's not all different things that go through maybe necessarily the product team is the only one who can raise a priority of an issue or say this is higher priority. Your support team needs to be able to do that as well. You should be implementing some kind of customer team. By customer team, I mean success, services, and maybe onboarding, just some kind of red flag process where they can flag issues from their perspective. And then also building some kind of leadership escalation path. So the first step in this is coming to an agreement on what considers a high priority issue. And so for us here at Drift, the way that we flag different issues, number one, just looking at it is this impacting an upcoming customer renewal? Again, that customer is on, that tipping point right there. And you want to make sure that going into that renewal, they don't have issues that are going to say, this is going to block us from making sure that we can go ahead and sign that contract. The same thing from the other end of the spectrum is impacting a go live. So with a customer who just launched with your product, you don't want anything where they, are hindered, where they can't launch because there's problems or issues taking place. So this is going to be important to make sure like those are also equally prioritized. And then everyone's running a business. So is this impacting high ARR or MRR? Is that at risk? Is this tied to that customer red flag, which I'm going to talk a little bit more detail about in the next slide? Or is this impacting a large amount of customers? So do you have a high volume where you're looking at this going, this is something where a lot of customers are impacted, so we need to prioritize this issue. And so what we structured here at Drift is these 5 key points here. There's a lot more. You can look at some smaller nuanced things, and I'm more than happy to go into detail with anyone afterward. But the first one, product meetings, is the escalation point, and this is where I said that product specialist directly embedded into that team is going to advocate for those bug fixes. So that cadence is weekly, where they meet with that product team. They help them prioritize. Here's your top 3. If product is working on a sprint that maybe they can't focus on 3 things, then here's your top 1. But it's that idea to advocate during that week to say, here's what's most important to us. We need you to also focus on this. Red flag meetings from customer success that I called out this is going to be where they have an opportunity to call out customers who are impacted either through a support experience. It could be a product experience. These happen typically weekly or bi-weekly. And you've got the product team and support aligned directly there to hear that concern and make sure that they can call that out to your product team and they know what to focus on. Monthly, what we've had set up here is that all of the product leadership, every product manager, VPs, everything along those lines, meet with all of our customer team leaders, and we discuss feedback on here's what we're seeing from the field, here is feedback from last month's release, here's what could go better, here's what we need from you. And that happens where we, again, are joined weekly or monthly, and we're going to talk about and provide those insights. And then on a quarterly basis, support, and all of our teams do it, but support focuses on quarterly business reviews. And these are going to be, this is an opportunity for them to say, here in my particular product area, if I'm focused on, let's say, routing, for example, here are the top questions our customers had, the top things that I would say stand out to me in my ask subproduct. And we have these attended by everyone from the top all the way down to individual engineers who just want to learn what's support seeing from the field. And again, this is a just great chance to kind of strengthen that product relationship. And then that last piece is the leadership escalation. You're never going to get away from it where you're going to need to have managers or leaders involved. And so those are always going to be there as needed. So key takeaways that I want you all to think about here is figuring out how you can align your support structure to your product team organization. And again, this is one where I'm saying, make sure you're part of one team and one unit. Don't have them as separate disjointed teams where you just kind of work together, but it's one thing where we're all one team. Building some kind of subject matter expert program as part of the product release cycle where you're providing those insights to product and then taking that information back to your customers and also kind of learning a little bit before the product actually gets released. If you're not tagging everything now, start tagging everything. Tag every question that you get, because you're going to learn a lot from it. This is going to help you learn from your customers and take insight and take action from it. And then the last piece is make sure you've got an agreed upon escalation process, so that when you're talking to those product team members, again, that they're prioritizing things the way that you want them to be prioritized.